All right, so you sent me this guide about growing a YouTube channel, while working a 9 to 5.
Hmm.
And I gotta say, when I first saw the title, I was kind of skeptical. Like, is that even possible?
Yeah, it almost seems impossible.
Yeah.
But this guide actually lays out a pretty compelling case.
Okay.
It really stresses how important it is to have a defined niche.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just a suggestion.
Right.
It's essential.
Okay.
Think about it. If your content is all over the place,
Yeah.
who are you really appealing to?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But finding that perfect niche, I feel like that's where a lot of people they kind of get stuck.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The guide suggests, think about it like this. What's the one thing you could talk about for hours,
Mm-hmm.
even if nobody was paying you?
Right.
And then you really want to dig deeper.
Okay.
Is there a specific angle within that passion that isn't oversaturated,
Yeah.
but still has a hungry audience?
So, like, instead of just like fitness, it
Exactly.
could be like yoga for seniors,
Yes.
or like strength training for rock climbers.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about finding that sweet spot that combines your expertise with an audience that's underserved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
But even with the perfect niche,
Right.
there's the time crunch.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You've only got 24 hours in a day.
Exactly.
Most of them are already accounted for
Right.
with the 9 to 5.
Yeah. And so the guide gets surprisingly granular with it.
Okay.
It suggests treating your YouTube content creation like its own mini business.
Okay.
So, you need to block out specific time slots in your week,
Right.
even if it's just an hour here and there.
Okay.
Even 30 minutes a day adds up to over 3 hours a week,
Yeah, that's true.
you know.
That's true.
So it is possible.
Okay, yeah. I'm starting to see how this could work.
Yeah,
But consistency is key, right?
absolutely. The guide recommends batching your content creation.
Okay.
So instead of like filming and editing one video at a time,
Right.
set aside like a larger chunk of time to film multiple videos at once,
Okay.
and this can actually help boost your creative flow.
That's a great tip. I'm already feeling less overwhelmed just thinking about it.
I know, it's like a
Yeah.
little weight off the shoulders.
Yeah, yeah.
The guide also really emphasizes leveraging tools to streamline your workflow.
Okay.
For example, Canva can help you create those eye-catching thumbnails.
Mm-hmm.
And there's TubeBuddy for managing your video's SEO.
Okay.
And scheduling tools like Hootsuite or Buffer can really help automate your social media promotion.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Speaking of SEO,
Yeah.
that's one area where I always feel a little lost.
Mm.
The guide mentions it, but I'm kind of wondering if you could break it down a bit more.
Sure.
What are some of the key things people need to know to make sure that their videos actually get seen?
Well, the guide really emphasizes that keyword research is essential.
Okay.
And it suggests going beyond just identifying relevant keywords.
Mm-hmm.
You need to analyze search volume,
Okay.
competition,
Mm-hmm.
and even look at what keywords your competitors are ranking for.
Okay.
There are tools like Ahrefs or SEMrush that can help with this.
So it's not just about using the right words, it's about finding the right words.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the guide highlights the importance of long-tail keywords.
Okay.
These are longer, more specific phrases that people actually search for.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Someone searching for, how to bake a cake
Right.
is probably a beginner.
Yeah.
But someone searching for how to bake a 3-layer chocolate cake with ganache frosting.
Wow, that's very specific.
Very specific, right?
Yeah.
And they're probably more likely to watch the whole video.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So keywords are important, but what about the actual content itself?
Yeah.
Does the guide talk about quality versus quantity?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's very clear on that point. Quality trumps quantity.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially when you're starting out.
Right.
Focus on crafting a few exceptional videos rather than churning out a ton of mediocre content.
Yeah, because let's be honest, nobody wants to watch a poorly lit, rambling video with bad audio.
Exactly. It's about respecting your audience's time and attention.
Right.
And the guide even suggests a specific framework for creating high-quality content.
Okay.
It calls it the hook, value, action approach.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you start with a strong hook to grab attention.
Okay.
Then deliver valuable information or entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
and finally end with a clear call to action, like subscribing or checking out another video.
That's a great framework to keep in mind. So we've
Yeah.
got niche, time management, SEO, and high-quality content.
Right.
Is there anything else that the guide highlights as crucial in those kind of early stages of building a channel?
Yes. One point the guide really emphasizes is that eye-catching thumbnails and titles are essential.
Oh, okay.
You've got to stand out in that crowded YouTube landscape.
Right.
And a compelling thumbnail can be the difference between someone clicking on your video or scrolling right past
Oh,
it.
right. It's like the cover of a book.
Yeah,
You know, a boring cover might make you pass on a
Ex-
great read.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it recommends using bold text, contrasting colors, and intriguing imagery.
Okay.
Think about what would visually represent your content in a clear and compelling way.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Right.
Try different styles, fonts, and layouts to see what works best for your audience.
So much of this is like understanding your audience and what they respond to.
Yes,
Does the guide talk about how to actually build that connection with viewers?
yes. And this is where things get interesting.
Okay.
The guide dives into the importance of engagement.
Okay.
It's not enough to just upload videos.
Right.
You need to interact with your viewers, respond to comments, ask questions, even run polls to get feedback and keep people involved.
It makes sense. You know, if someone takes the time to comment on your video,
Yes.
you want to acknowledge that.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
shows you care about your audience and value their input.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it helps create a sense of community around your channel.
Yeah. Okay. I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
But I'm still curious about the social media aspect.
Mm-hmm.
How does the guide suggest using other platforms to grow your YouTube channel?
Well, it emphasizes the importance of cross-promotion.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You've already created this amazing content.
Right.
Why not share it everywhere?
Okay.
Use platforms like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or even Facebook to give people a taste of what your channel is all about.
So it's about using those platforms to drive traffic to your YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's not just about sharing links.
Right.
The guide suggests creating content specifically for those platforms,
Okay.
like behind-the-scenes glimpses, teasers for upcoming videos, or even running contests to build excitement.
So you want to give people a reason to follow you on those other platforms,
Exactly.
not just see it as another place to spam links?
Exactly. It's about building a consistent brand presence across all your platforms so people know what to expect from you no matter where they find you.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground already.
Yeah, we have.
But I want to touch on one more thing before we move on.
Okay.
Analytics.
Yes.
I know they can be intimidating, but I imagine they're pretty crucial for understanding how your channel is performing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what do those numbers actually tell us?
Well, they give you insights into how people are interacting with your content.
Okay.
For example, watch time tells you how long people are actually watching your videos,
Mm-hmm.
not just clicking and then leaving.
Okay.
Audience retention shows you where people are dropping off,
Uh-huh.
which can help you identify areas to improve.
So it's like getting feedback directly from your viewers,
gives you-
even if they aren't leaving comments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the guide encourages using this data
Mhm.
to inform your future content.
Mm-hmm.
Are people engaging with certain topics more than others?
Right.
Are there specific video styles that perform better?
Okay, I'm starting to see how this data can be really empowering. It's not just about vanity metrics. It's about understanding what works and what doesn't so you can keep improving.
Exactly. It's about treating your YouTube channel like an ongoing experiment.
Yeah.
Always testing, always tweaking.
Okay, I'm feeling a lot more confident about this whole YouTube thing now.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing that we've only just scratched the surface of this guide.
Right.
There's still so much to unpack.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to dive deeper.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we've talked about, niching down, mastering YouTube SEO, building a community,
Yeah.
monetizing your content.
Yep.
But let's get real for a second,
Yeah.
Creating high quality videos on top of a 9 to 5.
Right.
That's got to be draining.
It definitely can be. Yeah. This guy, it doesn't sugarcoat that.
Right.
But one thing that really stuck with me
Okay.
is its emphasis on mindset.
Okay.
It's not just about grinding it out. It's about approaching this whole YouTube journey with intention.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What does approaching YouTube with intention actually look like?
Well, the guide suggests viewing your YouTube channel not just as a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
but but as a parallel track to your 9 to 5.
Okay.
So it's about setting clear goals,
Mm-hmm.
creating a strategic plan,
Right. Oh,
and
yeah.
and most importantly, being mindful of your energy and your time.
Yeah, that makes so it's like having two jobs almost. So how do you prevent burnout? Yeah. When you're essentially working two full-time gigs?
Yeah, that's where things like time blocking and batch creation become really crucial.
Okay.
The guide emphasizes the importance of scheduling dedicated YouTube time,
Mm-hmm.
even even if it's just an hour or two a couple nights a week.
Okay.
And remember, batching your content creation,
Yeah.
that can be a game changer.
Right.
Film multiple videos at once,
Mm-hmm.
edit them together,
Okay.
and boom, you've got a whole week's worth of content ready to go.
Okay, I'm seeing how those strategies can help maximize, efficiency.
Right, yeah.
But what about inspiration? How do you stay creative and motivated when you're already juggling so much?
Right. Well, that's where the guide's advice on, finding your tribe comes in.
Okay.
It encourages connecting with other creators in your niche,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's through, online communities, social media groups,
Right.
or even attending industry events.
Yeah, I can see how surrounding yourself with like-minded people
Yeah.
could be a huge source of motivation and support.
Yeah, absolutely.
But networking can feel a little intimidating,
Yeah.
especially when you're first starting out.
For sure.
Any tips from the guide on how to approach it?
Yeah, it emphasizes authenticity and generosity.
Okay.
Don't just focus on what you can get from others.
Right?
Think about how you can contribute to the community,
Mm-hmm.
share valuable insights,
Mm-hmm.
offer support, and genuinely engage with other creators' content.
Well.
Building those relationships can lead to collaborations, cross-promotions,
Hmm.
and a whole lot of shared inspiration.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's about building a network,
Right.
not just collecting contacts.
Exactly.
But even with a supportive community,
Mhm.
there are going to be challenges, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, growing a YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
it takes time and consistency.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do you stay the course?
Yeah, absolutely. The guide acknowledges that overnight success is rare,
Hmm.
and it encourages celebrating small wins along the way.
Okay.
It's about finding joy in the process,
Right.
not just focusing on the end goal.
So it's about enjoying the journey,
Yeah,
not just the destination.
exactly.
But let's be honest.
Hmm.
There's got to be a point
Yeah.
where you start thinking about monetization.
Of course.
How does the guide address the financial aspect of YouTube?
Yeah, it dives into the YouTube Partner Program,
Okay.
which allows you to monetize your content through ads, channel memberships,
Okay.
super chats, and merchandise shelves.
Okay.
But it emphasizes that monetization should be a byproduct of creating great content,
Right.
not the driving force behind it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You've got to build that loyal audience first.
Yeah, absolutely.
But once you hit that point,
Mhm.
the guide has some interesting advice on how to reinvest those earnings.
Right. It suggests thinking about it like any other business.
Okay.
You need to reinvest to grow.
Right.
Maybe it's upgrading your equipment,
Mm.
hiring an editor to free up your time,
Okay.
or even running targeted ads to reach a wider audience.
It's like leveling up your YouTube game.
Exactly. Exactly.
But even with all these strategies in place,
Mhm.
there are still going to be days
Yeah.
when it feels overwhelming, right?
Absolutely. And that's where the guide's advice on automation and delegation becomes crucial.
Okay.
It encourages leveraging tools to streamline your workflow.
Right.
From scheduling your uploads to using social media management platforms to automate your posting.
Okay.
And for tasks like editing or graphic design,
Mm-hmm.
consider outsourcing to freelancers.
So it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
But finding the right people to delegate to,
Yeah.
that can be a challenge in itself.
Yeah, the guide recommends starting small
Okay.
and building trust gradually.
Yeah.
Maybe you start by outsourcing just one task,
Mm-hmm.
like thumbnail creation,
Okay.
and then gradually expand as your channel grows and your budget allows.
Okay. I'm seeing how this approach can free up time and energy to focus on what you do best, creating awesome content.
Absolutely.
But there's one thing we haven't really talked about yet.
Okay.
dealing with criticism.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine putting yourself out there on YouTube.
Yeah.
It opens you up to a whole lot of opinions.
It does.
Both good and bad.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with the haters?
Right. You're absolutely right. And the guide addresses this head on,
Okay.
acknowledging that criticism is inevitable.
Right.
Especially as your channel grows.
Mm-hmm.
It emphasizes the importance of developing a thick skin and learning to separate constructive feedback from negativity.
That's easier said than done, though.
Oh, for sure.
Any practical tips from the guide on how to handle those negative comments or even just the fear of criticism in general?
Yeah, it suggests focusing on your why.
Okay.
Why are you creating this content? What message are you trying to share?
Right.
Reminding yourself of your purpose
Okay.
can really help you stay grounded when you encounter negativity.
Right.
And it also encourages engaging with constructive criticism, even if it stings a little.
Because sometimes those critical comments can actually help you improve, right?
Exactly. They can highlight blind spots you might not have noticed or offer valuable insights from your audience's perspective.
Okay, I'm feeling a lot more prepared to handle the ups and downs of the YouTube world now.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, is there anything the guide says about staying relevant? I mean, YouTube is constantly changing.
Yeah.
New trends are always emerging.
It is a fast-paced world.
So how do you keep up?
Right. The guide emphasizes the importance of staying curious and adaptable.
Okay.
It encourages experimenting with different content formats, trying new trends,
Right.
and always being on the lookout for ways to innovate and evolve your channel.
So it's not just about keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
It's about finding ways to stand out and be unique.
Exactly. The guide reminds us that authenticity is key.
Okay.
Don't try to be someone you're not,
Right.
or chase every fleeting trend.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on what makes your channel special,
Right.
and let that be your guiding light.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
And I'm realizing that this guide is packed with so much more than just like tactical advice.
Right.
It's really about approaching YouTube with a whole new mindset.
It is. I agree. It's about intention, strategy, community, resilience, and constantly evolving.
Yeah, I'm feeling inspired.
Oh, good.
But I'm also realizing we've only got one part left of this deep dive.
Right.
There's still so much to explore.
You're right. We've laid a solid foundation.
Okay.
But there are still some key insights we need to unpack.
Well, I'm ready to keep digging.
Let's do it.
So we've talked about like everything, niching down, mastering YouTube SEO, building a community,
Right.
monetizing your content.
It's a lot.
It's clear that growing a YouTube channel while working full-time, it's a challenge.
Yeah, it is.
But this guide really makes a compelling case that,
It's possible.
it's possible, yeah.
It's achievable, for sure.
One thing that really stuck with me is this emphasis on the long game.
Right.
It's so easy to get caught up in the numbers,
Oh, absolutely.
the views, the subscribers.
Yeah. You see those YouTubers with millions of subscribers.
Right.
You're just like, how did they get there?
Yeah, how did they do that?
Like, it's crazy.
Exactly.
But the guide reminds us that those creators, they didn't achieve success overnight.
Right.
They put in the work.
Yeah.
It honed their craft.
Yeah.
They built their audience, one subscriber at a time.
It's like that famous quote, overnight success takes about 10 years.
Exactly, yeah.
It's about consistency, patience, and a willingness to keep learning and adapting along the way.
I love that this guide, it doesn't just focus on the technical aspects of YouTube. It also delves into the mental and emotional side of things.
Okay.
It talks about dealing with setbacks,
Right.
overcoming self-doubt, and staying motivated when the going gets tough.
I think that's so important.
Yeah.
It's easy to get discouraged when you're not seeing immediate results. You start to question if it's all worth it.
Yeah, and the guide reminds us that success isn't linear.
Right.
There will be ups and downs. There will be plateaus. There will be moments when you just want to throw in the towel.
Right, and it's about pushing through those moments.
Yeah.
Remembering your why.
Exactly.
And trusting the process.
Yeah, you got it.
And celebrating those small wins along the way.
Yes.
Every new subscriber, every positive comment,
Every milestone.
every milestone you hit.
Those are all signs that you're moving in the right direction.
I'm curious, does the guide offer any specific advice on how to stay motivated?
Sure.
You know, when you're feeling burnt out or discouraged?
Yeah, it suggests a few things.
Okay.
First, remember your why.
Right.
Why did you start this YouTube channel in the first place?
Yeah.
What are you passionate about sharing with the world?
Right.
Reconnect with that initial spark.
That makes sense. It's easy to lose sight of the big picture when you're bogged down in the day-to-day grind.
Exactly. The guide also suggests, like, taking breaks when you need them.
Okay.
You know, step away from YouTube for a few days,
Yeah.
recharge your batteries, come back with fresh eyes
Right.
and renewed energy.
I think that's so important. You can't pour from an empty cup. And
Right.
sometimes a little distance, it can give you a fresh perspective.
Absolutely. The guide also emphasizes the importance of self-care.
Okay.
Make time for activities that bring you joy and help you de-stress, whether it's exercise,
Right.
spending time with loved ones,
Yeah.
or simply indulging in a favorite hobby.
I love that it addresses the whole person, not just the YouTube persona.
It's about finding that balance, you know, between pursuing your passion and taking care of your well-being.
Right.
And it's about recognizing that success, it isn't just about the numbers.
Yeah.
It's about feeling fulfilled and happy with the journey.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you want to leave our listener with?
Okay.
What's the most important piece of advice you gleaned from this guide?
I think it's this. The most important thing is to start.
Okay.
Don't get bogged down in perfectionism.
Mm-hmm.
Create content you're passionate about.
Right.
Connect with your audience.
Yeah.
And enjoy the journey.
Okay.
The rest will fall into place.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
And I think it applies to so much more than just YouTube.
Absolutely. It's about pursuing your dreams, whatever they may be.
Right.
With passion, dedication, and a whole lot of heart.
Well, that's a wrap on another deep dive.
That's a wrap.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired and ready to hit that record button.
Me too. You got this.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep creating.